Present. All right. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so we are from a Mind and Body Health Services, and today we're going to be talking about emotional and mental health. My name is Calley, and I'm studying sociology with a minor in business, and I'm originally from the Portland area.
And then I'm Avery. I'll be graduating this May with my bachelor's in social science and a minor in Spanish.
And my name is Amy Gowans, and I am a master level counseling intern here at A Body and Mind, and I'll be graduating at the end of this year with my master's in social work.
All right, thank you. Now we're going to move to the next slide.
Okay, so here we're going to talk about our resources that are provided at A Body and Mind. We'll just give you a brief description of each. A Body and Mind, so a little bit about our health agency is we exist to provide the best medical care possible. We embrace physical fitness, nutrition, outdoor activities, and community involvement as a core principle of mental health counseling services. So ABM resources, so community-based rehabilitation services, it is an individualized skill building service that utilizes evidence-based therapeutic education to increase independence and decrease issues related to mental health and illness in the home, school, work, and the community. So here at ABM, we teach clients effective coping skills, problem solving, and relaxation techniques, social skills, symptom recognition, and management amongst basic living skills. We have targeted service coordination, which actually is a lot of community resources that assist our clients with meeting their basic needs and increasing stability and happiness in their daily life. We have outpatient psychotherapy or counseling. Our therapists offer a safe, private, and open environment to help our clients grow as people and to improve their well-being. We also offer a wide variety of counseling services as well, and they are all listed on our website. There are several available. We do also have peer support services, which teams up with our clients and our trained professionals who, just like our clients, have experienced similar situations and have overcome their own mental health difficulties. Having experienced these similar struggles, our certified peer support specialists are uniquely positioned to listen, provide empathy, understand, guide, and simply be there for the clients at each step in their journey to recovery and happiness. We also offer medication management. And so that's through our partnerships and networking within the community providers, we can assist in connecting individuals with medication managers throughout the Canyon and Ada County. And then lastly, we do provide New American support, also known as refugee services. We are proud to offer all therapeutic mental health services to New Americans. We provide our New Americans with a variety of services to address their medical, housing, financial, social, and educational needs.
Thank you, Amy. And now we're going to get on to the next slide. Oops, sorry. There we go.
Okay, so we're going to start with emotional health. So if anyone wants to share what they think this is, what it looks like, please feel free to do so before we move on to definitions.
It's important, yeah. Any thoughts on what it is?
It's how to get your emotions out. What do I want to say? An easy manner, or at the appropriate time.
Yeah, in a healthy way.
In a healthy way.
Yeah, I like that.
Awesome, yeah, thank you. Okay, so emotional health, this refers to the emotional quality of individuals' experiences. And emotional well-being is influenced by a variety of demographic, economic, and situational factors. So basically what you're going through in your life kind of affects your emotions and how you process everything, and it all works together as one unit. So with emotional health, there's unhealthy and there's healthy, and you want to strive to get to the healthy side of things. If you have an unhealthy emotional health, it looks like you have a lot of changes in your mood, you have erratic thinking, maybe chronic anxiety, an exaggerated sense of self-worth, and impulsive actions. And then if you get to the healthy side of it, you turn to a positive self-image, you don't become overwhelmed by your emotions, you have lasting and satisfying personal relationships, you're able to accept life's disappointments for what they are, you're self-sufficient, and you can shape your environment whenever possible and adjust to it as necessary. So basically, if you have a healthy emotional health, you're able to adapt to life's challenges and kind of just progress throughout your life and not get set back by things that happen to you.
Okay, so now we're going to ask the question, bring it back to the floor, and ask, what is mental health? So now that we've talked about emotional health, what do you think mental health is?
What do you guys think? That's over emotional health. It's like the umbrella, I think, over here.
Okay, so emotional health is a part of mental health?
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds great. You're right on par. So we're going to go on to the next slide. And so according to the World Health Association, mental health is a state of well-being in which an individual realizes his or her own abilities to manage like stress and being able to be productive when things can be overwhelming. So maybe I like to kind of think it's more of like maybe working things out with emotional health going on, being able to recognize what's going on with your mental health. So it's so we're gonna talk more about how they go parallel together in a little bit. But that's the overall definition of mental health. So it's the psychological and emotional well-being coming together. Alrighty, and then we'll go to the next slide. All right, so what does unhealthy mental health look like? So it could be a lot of anxiety, worry, or like super paranoid, long-lasting sadness or irritability, extreme changes in your mood, maybe social withdrawal, not wanting to participate, be social with others or like have conversations with others and want to be like more put to yourself. And then dramatic changes in your eating or sleeping pattern. Just as an example, a like personal example, I know that when I get super stressed, my eating patterns definitely change. Sometimes I crave more like sweets, or sometimes I just don't eat. So that's definitely a big one that you can kind of notice when your mental health is definitely like not in the like the spot where you want it to be. And then healthy mental health is being confident, facing situations. You feel optimistic. You're not blaming yourself, and you recognize that situations do happen, and sometimes you just don't have control over everything. Being able to set goals for yourself, and then being able to feel good about yourself and have a good, positive self-image. Now I'm going to pass it on to Amy.
Thank you, Calley. So we may be wondering, am I experiencing some feelings or behaviors that may be signs of some early warning signs of some unhealthy emotional and mental health? And you're right, they do. They go hand in hand. So like Calley was talking, these warning signs are really similar to the unhealthy ways of maintaining our mental health. So eating or sleeping too little or too much, pulling away from people or unusual activities, such as things that used to be pleasurable, having low or no energy, feeling numb or like nothing matters, feelings of hopelessness or helplessness, having unexplained aches and pains, and the inability to perform daily tasks like taking care of your kids or getting to work or school. Some additional warning signs: smoking, drinking, or using drugs more than usual. Feeling unusually confused, forgetful, maybe on edge, angry, upset, worried, or scared, and sometimes for just a lot of unexplainable reasons. Yelling or fighting with family and friends, and again, just not understanding why. Experiencing severe mood swings that cause problems in relationships. having persistent thoughts and memories that you just can't get out of your head. And those may be even including dreams and nightmares, hearing voices or believing things that are not true, and thinking of harming yourself or others is a very big indication. So we do have some ways, there is some hope to improve your mental health. Be aware of your emotions and reactions when you're wanting to improve your mental health. Self-awareness is really key and can help us to remain mindful of our actions and our behaviors and to help us self-reflect. So really, when we do self-reflect, we can think before we act a lot of times, and developing coping strategies to manage stress. Which can either be some grounding techniques, simply as breathing, just to be able to get yourself back into balance so that you can think rationally, and taking care of your physical health, walking, some daily exercise, connecting with others, finding purpose and meaning. Having a positive outlook and mindset also helps very much to improve emotional and mental health. Now we will talk about ways to maintain your emotional and mental health. And now getting professional help when you need it and not being afraid to ask for help and getting enough sleep. A good recommendation actually from the CDC is a minimum 7 to 8 hours. Staying physically active, which is really important to improve and maintain our emotional and mental health, along with continuing to help and staying connected with others, our friends, our community, our family, people that are important to us within our circle. Developing those basic coping skills, such as those breathing and relaxation techniques that I was speaking of earlier. So they really do go hand in hand about maintaining and improving that mental health.
All right.
So what if someone talks to you about their mental health? I'm sure there's been many times that you have experienced this in your life and you wonder, gosh, what can I do to help them? So simply listening is a really big key. Listening is very powerful. And letting them know that you understand, and just by being there really helps the other person to know that you do understand and that you're there to listen. Avoid being judgmental, because a lot of times we know what it feels like to be judged, and to take them seriously. Really, it is hard for others to talk about their own mental health, and it is a very vulnerable subject. So for someone to feel that they're being taken seriously and being listened to and being understood is very powerful. Making yourself available to talk again if needed can also be a very powerful tool to help somebody in that time of connection. And don't turn what you've been told into gossip. If you don't understand what you have been told, do some research and learn about it so that you do have a better understanding to empathize and be there for others.
Thank you, Amy.
You're welcome.
All right, so now we are going to watch a movie clip that will show the importance of healthy emotional and mental health and them working together. So I'm just going to do a quick summary of the movie that we're going to be watching, or a quick movie clip. We're going to watch a movie clip from Inside Out. There's a little girl, her name is Riley. She's 11 years old and she's from the Midwest. And then her parents decide to move to San Francisco, and we're going to see all the different emotions and work going on in her brain. So led by joy, and then there's sadness and anger and fear. And you'll see these characters in the video, but we're going to just try and keep an eye out for when these emotions are working together and how it impacts her emotional health and her mental health, and like the overall decisions and her lifestyle, how that changes based on this new dramatic event that happened to her and her family. And please, okay, so now we're gonna start. Let me know if you guys can hear it. There we go. Okay. maybe like a quick thumbs up. Can you guys hear that?
We can, thank you.
Perfect.
Anxiety and depression is something that causes pain for people all over the world. In this scene from Inside Out, we get a very clear example of how people can get stuck avoiding their emotions and start to experience things such as intense anxiety or deep depression. The film Inside Out depicts a young girl struggling with a traumatic experience of moving home.
When you're muted, we can't hear
I
you.
can't hear it anymore.
In public.
I'm
There
sorry.
it goes, it came back.
Let's just go back. I thought if I put myself on mute, it would help with the echo, and then I, thank you.
Traumatic experience of moving home. This movie very accurately describes why people get anxious in this world and why we need to be allowed to be upset and uncomfortable, even in public sometimes. In a scene from Inside Out, Riley has a situation where she is called on to talk about her life. She feels okay remembering her old feelings until she reaches the point where she realizes that her happy life that she knows of is gone. In that moment, she needs to embrace sadness to help cleanse that moment. But instead, because of happiness struggling with sadness, she gets caught in a place where those feelings remain unresolved.
We used to play tag and stuff. Cool Kids was praying at 3 o'clock.
Did you see that? Look, they're judging us.
Somebody help!
Don't. That's a core memory. Wait.
It is never nice to have to cry in public, but sometimes when we experience a traumatic event, we need to get upset, scream, cry, or whatever to reach closure on that situation. As a result of not getting closure, Riley becomes jaded and scared to talk to anyone, in fear of having to experience the uncomfortable feeling of being emotional and upset in public again. Therefore, many people who suffer from anxiety, and particularly social anxiety, find themselves in this kind of trap, trying to avoid those feelings again and again, and so they get anxious. In order to release the panic, a person needs to heal that trauma. They need to feel okay with being themselves, no matter how vulnerable that is. Once we have time to grieve and we feel supported, it is easier to again embrace happy thoughts.
Riley can't be done with me.
All right. Don't do that. Okay, there we go.
Okay, so now we have a few questions for you guys. In what ways can you or someone you know maybe relate to what Riley was going through, her emotions? And then what ways did you notice emotional mental health occurring and when?
You picked up the blue bubble thing.
Uh-huh.
I think that was Joy, wasn't it?
Yeah, Joy picked up some of the sad memories.
Oh, that was sad. Okay.
Well, when they're blue, that means it's a sad memory. And the little blue person, she was sadness, the yellow person was joy. And they were fighting over those memories because she couldn't resolve the emotions. Have you guys noticed that in examples that you've seen in your life and
Oh, yeah.
others? Yeah. What did you notice specifically in that clip as far as those emotions she was experiencing?
Well, I moved here in '78 from Anchorage. Idaho was very different. It was very different.
So probably lots of different emotional changes then.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Sure.
Start my junior year,
Oh man,
so that was hard.
I see a lot of good changes.
Yeah, definitely. Moving is always a big change. For me, I was born and raised in Lake Ozark, Missouri, and then I moved to Northern California for high school, and then to Idaho for college. So each time you move, it's always a big change. You go through a lot of emotions, leaving people, meeting new people. So it's always important to kind of face those emotions head on and not let them control your new experience.
All right, let's to the next slide. There we go. And then we just wanted to thank you all for joining us today. If you have any other questions or things you'd like to talk about right now, we can go ahead and talk about that. And if not, you can give us a call and we can talk more about emotional and mental health.
Anybody have any questions or thoughts they want to share? All good? We're good. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely.